YouTube. In today's video, we talk about 10 things that Vietnam does better than America. In yesterday's video, I did 10 things America does better than Vietnam, so check that out on my channel. Like and subscribe to my channel and follow me on all social media platforms. I'm going to try to make this video quick. I'm going to refer to my notes and let's get into it. For number one, probably the main reason why most people come to Vietnam, cost of living. It says here, housing, food, transportation, and services are often much more affordable. I currently live here in Vietnam. I rent a 2-bedroom, 2-bath condo. It has a pool, gym, 24-hour security. It's a 4-year-old building, so it's relatively new. We have a 7-Eleven right up the street. All in, I pay $750. That's the rent, electricity, the management fee, the water bill. All right, so very affordable. In America, you're not paying $750 for something like this. If you're paying $750, you're either renting a room or you're living in a shoebox studio apartment. All right, and as far as the food and transportation, is very affordable. We have this thing called Grab, which is equivalent to Uber, which is much more affordable. You can get around Ho Chi Minh City for less than $3. And if you're like in District 9 or District 7, you can get to downtown Ho Chi Minh City for less than $7. So yeah, it's most definitely affordable here. As far as the food, if you're eating local street food, it's a lot more affordable. But if you're eating Western food, it can be a little bit more expensive, but not outrageous. So you have your options, and also if you're grocery shopping, it's much more affordable. You have access to the markets or the grocery stores. You got access to fresh fruits, fresh vegetables. So yeah, you have a lot of options there. So yes, the cost of living here in Vietnam is most definitely much more affordable than America. All right, number two, coffee culture. It says here, Vietnam's cafes culture encourages people to slow down, socialize, and enjoy their day, which is true. Just on this street alone where I live at is 3 coffee shops. And there's always a lot of people out there just relaxing, sitting down, enjoying their coffee, socializing, not just in my little area, but all of Ho Chi Minh City. So the coffee culture is most definitely a thing here. All right, so that's number 2. Number 3, affordable food. It says fresh meals can be purchased for a fraction of U.S. prices, which is true. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're eating, like I said, local dishes is much more affordable. If you're eating Western food, it can be a little bit more expensive, but all in all, it's much more affordable either way you go. It's much more affordable when it comes down to the food here. All right, so that's number 3. Number 4, walkable neighborhoods. It says many daily needs are within walking distance or a short motorbike ride, which is very true. It seems like how they built the condos here. At the bottom, you have a bunch of stores. So you usually have a 7-Eleven, maybe a few restaurants or something like that, or maybe a little laundromat down there or something. So, and then you have the condos at the, stacked up high, and then you have at the bottom you have the all the convenience stores and everything. So you can just take an elevator down to the lobby and you got everything that you need. So that's how they build the condos over here. And so that's most definitely a thing. And most definitely you got access to the motorbikes, which is, really not far distance if you need to take a motorbike. So that is number 4. Number 5 is work-life balance. Many expats feel less pressure and stress in day-to-day life, which is true. Work-life balance is most definitely a thing here. Even though a lot of the locals have their own little hustles, whether they're have their little street food stands or they're doing Grab or something like that. Everybody, or they might have just a regular 9-to-5 job. Work-life balance is still a thing here. They're not consumed with their work like we are in America. Work consumes every part of our lives in America. So here in Vietnam, it's much more balanced, I like it a lot more that way. So yeah, that's true. That's number 5. Number 6, street food culture. It says fresh, affordable food is available almost everywhere. And that's true. I can just walk outside and walk up the street. It's a bunch of people selling street food. It's you got smoothie stands, you got fruits and vegetable stands. So yeah, there's a lot of people selling pho. They got pho stands, like or what they call it, pho, which is like a soup, like a type of soup here, which is really good. And yeah, so it's very easy to get street food within walking distance of here. So that's number 6. Number 7, convenience services. It says food delivery, laundry, transportation, and other services are often inexpensive and readily available. Yeah, food delivery. You can get food delivery with Grab, which, like I mentioned, is the equivalent to Uber. You can order food with Grab and they'll deliver it to you. It seems like they have a lot of laundry facilities here, or you can just look online and have a local laundry facility come pick up your laundry and do your laundry for you and bring it back to you. So they have a lot in transportation, which is also Grab. They have a lot of services that's convenient here in Vietnam and very affordable as well. So that's most definitely a thing here that's true. So that's number 7. Number 8 is community feel. It says people spend more time outdoors, creating a stronger sense of daily interaction and neighborhood life. And that's true. If you've ever been here to Ho Chi Minh City and you're riding around, you see everybody's out. Even the elderly are out. They're out, just sitting down, relaxing and enjoying their day, enjoying the weather, even though it can get pretty hot here, but they're out here enjoying it anyways, interacting with each other, So that's most definitely a sense of community here in Vietnam. And I like it. I really do like that. So that's number 8. Number 9 is low cost healthcare. It says routine doctor visits, dental work, and many medical services are often far less expensive than the U.S. and which is true. For example, like was that a few weeks ago? I went to the ER I had stomach pains, and that whole visit cost me $200, and that's included the medicine that they gave me in the ER and the medicine to take home. $200. So in America, that same type of visit would probably cost $2,000, $3,000. So yeah, it's much more affordable when it comes down to the healthcare here in Vietnam, and it's very good quality healthcare too. Because they got a lot of international hospitals here. You go to one of those as an expat, you most definitely get good quality care for sure. So that's number 9. And number 10 is value for money. Many people feel they enjoy a higher quality of life for the same budget they would have in America. Yes, like my total budget, like I already mentioned, my rent, all in for my rent is $750, but my total budget for the month is around like $1,600 a month. In America, $1,600 is just your rent. Just your rent. That's all my expenses, So, and it's a higher quality of life, man. The food is better. Fruits and vegetables are better. What can I say? Getting around is much more affordable. So yeah, it's true. That's most definitely a thing. The value for money here in Vietnam is unbeatable. 10 times better than America. All right. So I'm going to wrap up the video. That was the last one. So like I said, I did a video talking about the 10 things America does better than Vietnam on my channel. So check that out. So like and subscribe to the channel. Follow me on all social media platforms. And stay tuned for other videos that are coming up down the pipeline. Peace.